Hi everyone, welcome back to this series of project management key concepts from the PMBOK guide. This one in particular is management reserves versus contingency reserves in your project. Now, why are we talking about this? Well, very simply, management reserves and contingency reserves are used for different reasons in your project and your project budget, and they can get confused both in real life and during the PMP exam. It's good to sort it out now, make sure you have it clear, and you will get a question on this in your PMP exam when you're doing it. So what are the differences? Management reserves are added to the overall cost baseline. So let's say we have the overall project cost baseline here, that's our project cost, and then we actually add a little bit onto the top of that as our management reserve. Now that's used for our unknowns, things that we have not foreseen, things that we haven't looked at, risks that we did not know about or that could happen, risks that were not planned, in other words. Now, our contingency reserves are another story. They're actually used within the cost budget and the cost budget baseline. And they're allocated for risks that we have thought about, so we know that those risks potentially could happen. These are used in work packages or activities. So these are the activities that our teams are performing to deliver a particular feature. And for those, we attribute a cost, and the cost we add contingency reserves within each of those activities for any of the risks that we have looked at that we see that might be coming up as we go along in our project. So let's look at an example. So as you can see on the left here, we've got the total amount, the project budget, all the way up here. But what is that made up of? Well, we've got our cost baseline, our total cost, and then the added management reserve for any of those unknown unknowns, the risks that we have not foreseen. Now, of course, then we've got all of the other items and our work packages over here. So this is an estimate of our work package, and in that we add our contingency reserve for any risks that we have looked at and that we know might be coming up. We've got a little bit of a contingency just in case these risks appear. So that all feeds into the cost baseline over here, and then we add the management reserve on top of that. As you can see in this example as well, as we're going along on our project, our cost baseline and our cost is changing, our actual cost along the project. And when we get to the stage where we've actually exhausted our budget at completion, we can tap into that management reserve, and that is our final project budget, including that management reserve for any of those unforeseen risks. And that is the idea of project reserves.